Hey, what's up everybody? Fred Minnick here, and today on this video I am going to be reviewing the Broken Barrel Honey Smoke Kentucky Straight Rye 101 proof. Now this is one of those where they take the whiskey, they put it in a tank, and then they cut up some barrels and they put them in there. And so this was originally a Kentucky rye that aged for 3.5 years at Green River Distillery in Owensboro, and then it was, and then they put the whiskey in a tank, and then they cut up some barrels, some honey barrels, some ex-honey barrels, that bourbon barrels that would have had honey in it, and Anejo Mezcal. It was a 50-50 split. They put them in the tank, and that finished in there for an extra 4.5 years. This was released about 1 year ago now. So it came out late last summer. So this is actually from 2022. It had an SRP of $60. Now, this was actually a gift to me recently from a friend who happens to be a member of my community, my membership community called Club Marzipan. There's a link in the description if you want to learn more about it. We were at a Jack Daniel's barrel pick together, and he pulled me aside, and he said, "Hey, I got something for you." And he knows I'm not always the biggest fan of the finishes or these extra staves or the chips or whatever someone's doing. And so this fella, Matt Gore, who you can find on Instagram at Big Whiskey, he's always trying to have me keep an open mind and break my curmudgeon ways. So I think this was his effort to help break the curmudgeon in me, because I'm not, this is probably not the place for it. I'll get into it in another video, but I'm a traditionalist when it comes to bourbon, and this would have been not allowed 20 years ago. But now, a lot of these things have come out, and they're very popular. A lot of these finishes, a lot of these added chips or these added staves, they're very popular. And in fact, I indeed like some of them. I like a lot of them. And I just have issues with the labeling. Been down that road before. I don't want to perseverate on it because I really do want to get to tasting this. So I promise you, though, if you want to hear me rant about it, a rant is coming. If you're like, oh God, here he comes on another rant, trust me, I'm not going down that rant just yet. I don't think, anyway. Sometimes I can't control myself. Just imagine me being like the little kid in class that would just start talking when he was not supposed to. That was me. Okay, this definitely smells like a rye, and this is a Kentucky Straight Rye. Again, it was distilled at Green River, aged there for 3.5 years, in a bourbon barrel or in a charred oak barrel, and then it was put in a tank and finished with half mezcal staves, and half honey barrel staves, so a cut up barrel. So here we go. Yeah, I'm not getting the sweetness or the smoke on the nose. Really getting a nice, lovely rye smell. So a lot of herbs in here, a lot of spice in here, a little bit of fruit, like some peach. There's the smoke. Yeah, kind of like a barbecue smoke, like a really good rib. You just put your teeth in there. It's like so it has that kind of smoke to it. A real big bite. This is 101 proof. It feels very heavy on the back of the palate, like alcohol-wise. It doesn't feel like spice to me because it's kind of caught in my throat. Anytime I get something caught in my throat, that's usually alcohol for me. Everyone's different. You got to understand how your palate reacts to alcohol and how you personally feel. For me, if something gets caught in my throat, I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. So I'm going to rinse my palate out here real quick and it's also a very good chance that my my trachea is just a little stretched out from jiu-jitsu recently. I don't want to say I got choked because I don't want people to take that the wrong way. But if you're into martial arts and jiu-jitsu, you know what I'm talking about. I got the shit choked out of me. So here we go. All right, so it's a good thing I did that. It's not getting stuck in my throat, so I just needed to get familiar with it. Very, very spicy, very, very like tangy. But I'm getting a lot of like baking spice, very, very cardamom-y, very cinnamony. Just a touch of like allspice in there. Then that smoke, that just biting into a rib kind of smoke. Not quite hickory, not quite cherry wood. Probably just a basic oak, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But it's definitely smoke. Not peat, not the peat flavor, but like a barbecue smoke flavor. And then after that, I mean, I'm just not getting the honey barrel. So like if the honey barrel was supposed to make an impact here, like a flash of honey, some sweetness, I'm not getting it there. But I also would probably say that rye would overpower a used honey barrel pretty easily, and that one just did not hold up. And if the rye wasn't able to overpower it, damn sure the mezcal barrel would. But I would say overall, as it's still finishing on my tongue with that with a very nice spice note, I would say overall this is good. I'm not going to say very good. I'm not going to say it's great, but yeah, this is good. And if I'm rating it, which that's my precursor to actually rating it, I'd say this is probably an 87, 86, somewhere around there. You know, it's not an A student and it's not a B+ student, but it's a solid B. You know, so I'd say the Broken Barrel Honey Smoke Rye 101, which came out last year, SRP is $60. You know, if you want to take a flyer on it, go ahead. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. That's going to do it for this little old review. I assure you, for those of you who want to see the curmudgeon come out, I will have a rant at some point about the processes of using all the different staves in there. So, and it's more about tradition and how whiskey used to be made than it is, does it taste good? So the question to you, the viewer, does tradition matter to you on how whiskey is made, or do you just care if something tastes good? That's going to do it for this tasting episode. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button. If you want to check out Club Marzipan, you'll find a link in the description. Also, remember, vodka sucks unless it's being used to clean up the murder of a dead cat. Cheers.